we're going to start with today's topic, which is breaking news. As we said before, we have tons of different sections in the news, right? From sports to weather to inventions to accidents, okay? There's plenty. So we're going to go ahead and learn that vocabulary, right? So first of all, we have breaking news. Breaking news is the most recent news that have been appearing, okay? 5 minutes ago, there was a car accident. So breaking news. I don't know, 5 minutes ago, they brought 20,000 vaccines of COVID-19, okay? Breaking news. It's the most recent news that have been going on in the past few minutes, right? Or in throughout the day. Then we have trending news. Trending news are news that are super popular, okay? If you go on Twitter, for example, you have a section that is called trending, right? So it means that it has been popular thanks to social media and thanks to TV and all our electronic devices. So it's basically a news that has become very popular. For example, I don't know when last year, okay, when we had March the 9th, that it was like a day without women, right? That was a trending topic for about one whole month, right? Because it was so popular and it became a movement among all of Mexico. And well, it was pretty much a trending topic. It became super popular, okay? That is what trending news is about. Then we have showbiz news. Showbiz news is basically gossip, okay? Secrets, gossip, interviews among artists, among famous people, okay? That Angelina Jolie got divorced because Brad Pitt was with somebody else. I don't even know if you guys know Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, but for example, I don't know, Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber married Hailey Baldwin, and Selena Gomez is heartbroken. Okay, that is what showbiz news is about, right? Then we have local news. Okay, local news are news that happen within your community. So here in Monterrey, what's been going on in Monterrey? What happened on Gonzalitos? What happened on Hospital Universitario? Okay, they are news that correspond to our community. They're not happening on Mexico City. They're not happening on Cancun. They're happening here on Monterrey, right? Then we have political news. Everything related to politics, AMLO, PRI, PAN, Movimiento Ciudadano, Samuel Garcia, all of that regards political news, right? On this case, I put a picture of Donald Trump because we know it was actually trending news, right? It became super popular that he made a whole movement and revolution because he hadn't won the presidency. And well, okay, so that is political news. Anything regarding politics. Then we have hard news, okay? Hard news are the negative and the super bad and cold parts about the news. When we have murders, when we have kidnapping, when we have killing, okay, well, murders, when we have victims, when there's like we found the body on abandoned, or the news that actually make your heart heavy, right? So these are the hard news, the dangerous ones, the ones that are actually bad. Okay, any questions up until now, guys, about the vocabulary?
No.
I'm going to go ahead and continue. Then we have soft news, okay? Soft news are every type of news that are super like noble, if you know what I mean. Soft news are basically, for example, Malala. Malala becomes the first woman to help girls fight for the right of education, right? Or news like inventions, or news like 20,000 vaccines come to Monterrey, okay? News that are very very light and that you actually enjoy reading them, okay? And even if they're not positive, you can actually read them without feeling like bad or feeling guilty, right? So there are tons of examples of soft news, okay? In soft news, you can also read or hear about celebrities, but not in a gossip way, right? Not in a gossip way, but I don't know, for example, Kim Kardashian is retiring from the TV show. Okay, that's an example. It is not gossip, but it's information and it is soft news, right? Then we have the weather forecast. The weather forecast, well, we all know what it means. There's the person who is explaining if today is going to be sunny, rainy, windy, if there's going to be snow or not, and what's going to happen along the following days. Okay? Then we have sports news, very easy sports news. We have a reporter who is telling us about the most recent games, specifically on football soccer, which is the one that we on Monterrey look at the most, right? Guiñac, Tigres, Rayados, etc. Sometimes there is also news about tennis when there is the Abierto Monterrey and when the Super Bowl, okay, we have some sports news also, but it's basically that, talking about sports. Then we have a crash. A crash is when two cars collide and they provoke an accident. Okay, this is a crash or a car accident. Crash is the action of going and then stumping yourself with something else, your car with an electric post or with another car. Okay, that is a crash. Then we have article. Article is the written paper or online paper, okay, but it's written when where you can find the news. So if you get your newspaper and you go to the general section or the family section, there is going to be an article written, okay? Articles can also be found in magazines, for example, okay? You can read the articles and it's basically a written paper. Then we have a journalist. A journalist is a person who is in charge of reporting the news that are going on throughout the city. So, for example, when you turn on the TV and you see a reporter, okay, or a journalist, the little guy or the woman with the microphone, and he's saying, okay, right now in Venustiano Carranza, there was a car accident. The two persons are safe, okay, the ambulance has been called and it's on its way. That is what a journalist does, okay? That is a journalist. Then we have paparazzi. Paparazzi are the persons who are in charge of taking pictures and to follow, for example, famous people, okay? To get the media, the images, the video, the recordings in order to be published, okay, for them to be published. Then we have a news anchor. There is a difference between the journalist and the news anchor. The journalist is outside on the city, on the streets, reporting, okay? The news anchor is fixed on a TV set, okay? And he is the presenter of the news and he is the one channeling the news channel with the journalists who are outside, okay, with the reporters. And then we have place of the scene. Place of the scene is when there is basically a crime or a murder or a crime in general. And the police comes and they restrict the area because it was the place of the scene where the accident or the crime happens, okay? So that's basically it. We have reported speech, okay? Reported speech includes statements, comments, and requests, okay? If we report what another person has said, we usually do not use the speaker's exact words. Direct speech, okay? For example, this is an example of direct speech, okay? Because the reporter said, and we have commas, all right? So the car crash was exactly in Main Avenue. We know that the reporter is saying that directly from TV or from the radio, okay? We're listening to it. But reported speech, that is often also called indirect speech, is used to retell or report what another person has actually said, okay? So how would you change this example, which is direct speech, to indirect speech or reported speech? Well, maybe I would say the reporter said that the car crash had been in Main Avenue, okay? So here comes that tricky part. When changing from direct to indirect speech, you need to change the grammar in certain ways. The tenses generally move backwards in this way. So take a look at this. If your sentence in direct speech is in present simple, when you want to change it to reported speech, you're going to change the tenses to past simple, okay? If the tenses of the direct speech are in present continuous, it's going to change to past continuous, okay? So for example, in this one, we have the car crash was exactly in Main Avenue. Can you identify in what tense is was? Is it present, past, simple, past continuous? What is it? Can somebody tell me?
Past simple.
Very good. It's past simple, okay? So if this is past simple and I want to change this example to reported speech, it's going to change to past perfect, okay? So I would say the reporter said that the car crash had been, because it's the verb to be, but it is in past simple, so I'm going to change it, verb to be, to past perfect, okay? The car crash had been exactly in Main Avenue. Okay, this is an example. Patience, okay, you're gonna get it. It's fine. Then, if you have past continuous, you're gonna change it to past perfect continuous. Past perfect remains unchanged. Okay, past perfect remains the same. And if you have a sentence with the future will, you're gonna change it to would. Then there are also certain modal verbs, okay? Like can, could, have to, must, that are going to change can into could. Could remains the same, it does not change. Have to changes to had to. Must can stay the same, like must, or it can change to had to. May changes to might. Might remains the same and should remains the same. Okay? So, I know there's a lot of questions right now. Okay? So, I'm just going to go ahead and show you an example. All right? We have direct speech. I am reading a book. Ooh, I'm sorry. I missed the apostrophes over here. I'm reading a book. Okay? Reported speech. For example, I, Miss Carla, told John that I was reading a book. Okay, so John went to Mary and said, she said that she was reading a book. Look at the verb to be am. It's in present simple. And present simple changes to past simple. So I am reading a book. She said that she was reading a book. Okay? So that's about it. Let me just correct the errors. Then we have tomorrow afternoon it will rain. This is direct speech coming directly from the TV, from the forecast news, okay? From the journalist, the weather forecast. So she said that tomorrow afternoon it will changes to could. It could rain. Take a look at this. Will or would. Will changes to would, okay? Or it can also be could, right? So, I'm sorry. It has a lot of grammar of spelling mistakes. So I just want you guys to have this correct. Okay, so and she said that she was reading a book. So reported speech is basically when you are saying something that another person said.